And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, my futures friends and family. It's time for the market reflection. Still Monday, March the 27th. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time as always. So we got a little mixed messages from our equities this afternoon. S&P is closed up maybe about 10 points. These are unofficial, of course, maybe 0.22%. The NASDAQ closed down today. That's a first we've seen for a while. NASDAQ has been the stronger of the three sisters. Down 99 points, 0.7%. And the Dow futures up 200 points. Again, up 0.7%. Crude oil, I guess, is the talk of the town today. So we found the market kind of opening in an area of potential repair, but apparently some supply issues came into light today. Crude closed at $72.81, up 3.55, $3.55, or 5.13%. Pretty big move in crude oil this afternoon, and right at the weekly kickoff high, $73. I was kind of speculating that perhaps the government started refilling the Strategic Petroleum Reserve around 70, which they stated they were going to do a little time back, about 6 weeks ago. I think there was a comment about that, but haven't heard anything of that sort here just yet this afternoon. As far as news is concerned, we had one talking Fed and a couple of European talking Feds, if you will. Just trying to look here. The Fed's Barr was the one that was speaking today, and he said, "We are prepared to use all of our tools to keep the system safe for any size institution. We're determined to hold the Federal Reserve fully accountable for any supervisor or regulatory failures involving the Silicon Valley Bank." SVB waited far too long to address its issues. We all know that it was very poorly managed, and pointed out some potential poorly managed other poorly managed banks. But it's been quiet on the bank front this weekend and largely today. So I'm hoping that issue is going to be behind us. Nobody knows, of course. I know I certainly don't. But at least, it's been a quiet couple of days as far as banking issues have been concerned. It's always nice to relax a little bit and think about the day at the end of the day. I do like these reflections. I hope you do too. But unfortunately, we're probably going to be ending the market reflections soon, hopefully as soon as we start Top Step TV. Hopefully you're going to like Top Step TV. But if there, is there's a large call for the reflection, I do enjoy doing it, so we can continue to do it. Tomorrow, we're looking for international trade numbers, wholesale inventories, retail inventories, Case-Shiller Home Price Index, FHFA Housing Price Index, and Consumer Confidence. Those are all tomorrow morning at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, respectively. In Central Time, we have Michael Barr, one of the talking Feds, speaking tomorrow. So we will be looking at some economic information tomorrow, which we weren't looking at today. We didn't have anything important as far as economic information today. So we got that. We've got, Barr speaking again on Wednesday. EIA petroleum status report on Wednesday. The biggie this week will be the GDP numbers due out on Thursday. So we'll have to see what happens then. As always, make sure you hit the lucky like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome on The Reflection. Everything we do here. And we are, of course, asking you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get notifications when we do go live. Tomorrow, we'll have the market prep. We'll have Make Hogue Money, the early session. We will have the coach's playbook tomorrow, and then we'll finish the day, of course, with a reflection until further notice. I'm going to continue to do those. And we'll take a look at what happened in the markets today. We'll start thinking about what might happen tomorrow. These markets are speaking to us. If you're paying attention to what the market is saying, you can find good opportunities to limit risk, opportunities to expand profit targets. Hopefully that's the goal, right? We're here to make money. I think everybody has that opportunity. It's just a matter of whether you can take it, whether you allow yourself the opportunity for success. It's out there. And we're going to help you find it, hopefully. Let's take a look at the charts now. Let's start with the crude oil, which took a pretty decent move to the upside today. Here's the daily chart. I mean, we were looking at 3 days of real just indecision. No real big moves. It's kind of the end of rollover. That was part of it, but we were kind of looking at on the 30-minute chart where it opened for potential repair. Here's what it looked like this morning. We were opening with a gap with some overnight inventory to the long side, but kind of between the point of control here from Friday, the point of control here from Wednesday. Market really didn't get much of an opportunity to even close that gap. So, if we do get to the point of control from Thursday and we pull back and move back down to this level, would have likely been in order, but with some new information, this market really kind of dug to the upside and dug basically right to our weekly kickoff high. So we'll have to see how this level plays out for us tomorrow. If I were a crude trader, I think I would probably be kind of excited about the opportunity to see the market open and test this weekly kickoff level from either direction. Why, you ask? Because I can limit risk. Anything I can do to limit risk, I'm interested in. Here's the TPO chart from today. Boy, oh boy. Just a very range-bound morning, and something happened to change things. Obviously, the market went from balance to imbalance. It remains in imbalance. What's it going to do tomorrow? What's it going to do? What are they going to do to me, Paulie? And here's the S&Ps. So we're still holding upside structure. It's not doing a very good job of it. It's just kind of grinding higher. But again, this morning on the prep, I talked a little bit about why I'm excited about the S&Ps and the equities, because with all that bad news, I think they held up very well. Now, remember, the NASDAQ is all the way up here around these highs. So the NASDAQ was lower today. The S&Ps and the Dow, I think, have more upside room to kind of push towards. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Here's the 30. We got to get these lines in there. There we go. Excuse me. My goodness. Got a little tickle all of a sudden there. We did open with a gap. We closed the gap. We talked about potential reacceptance inside Friday's area of range and potential Value, it didn't happen. We took two little looks down there. It's not a very strong low. We tested, we tested to the overnight high, tested to close the gap, and then really ended up range bound. We had negative delta throughout the day today, which may be indicating a potential longer time frame presence in the market looking for longs. If we add open interest tomorrow, that's going to be something that'll be a distinct possibility that we're going to talk about on the market prep. Here's the TPO chart. Initial balance high, right at the overnight high. Didn't get to the overnight low. Closed the gap though, but no acceptance, and then rotating. Normal variation trading day. Week low, excess high. We'll see what it looks like in the morning. Here's our NASDAQ. So here's where we are. We're at these highs. We're down here in the S&Ps. The NASDAQ has held up much better, of course, with no banks. 30-minute. Range bound. Short time frame control. Unable to get to the overnight high. Trading down to value low from Friday. Short time frame control, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if that's supported by a small change in open interest tomorrow. Here's the TPO chart. B shape. Long liquidation? Really? Could that be? Yes, of course it could be. Look at where we are. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. So almost a double distribution trend day to the downside. Finding balance down here. Low, excess high. Gold. Not going to hold that 2,000 level for very long, is it? Those session volume profiles on your charts, is that available to us? Scott, yes. If you're looking at on the 30-minute chart, I'll show you right now how to add those to your chart. If you're looking at the TPO charts, it's a little bit more involved, but I'll take you briefly through the back end so you can see it. Now, these are TS Trader charts. Basically Tradeovate, and yes, they are available to you. So, range bound, right? 30-minute chart. So, here, these are volume profiles. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this one. So, if this is the one that you're looking at, here's how you put it on. So, this is session only volume profiles. Anything that's after the 12:30 central close in gold doesn't show here. So what I do is I'm going to make it real big here. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to drawing tools, and I'm going to left click, let it go. Left click and let it go on volume profile. Then I'm going to go to the time that I want the market to open. 7:20 is when gold opens, so I'm going to start here at 7:30. I'm going to click and let it go, and then just drag the cursor over to the 12 o'clock bar, click, and that's going to keep my profile there. Okay, if you're not through with the session yet, if you push it all the way to the right, your volume profiles will appear here on the right. But if the market's over and you're closed and you stop it there, it's going to stay right there. As far as, well, today in gold, overnight inventory continues to just hold. Here's the TPO charts. So these are session only. These gold charts are regular trading hour session only. Very small range. No gap. IB. Was it a normal trading day? No, we did take out the high of the IB just briefly a couple of times. But I'm going to show you the profiles on a different chart here. Take a look. This is the S&P. So you're gonna want to look at. I think this has the. Okay, this has overnight as well as regular trading hour session. So whatever time frame you're in. I'm in Central Time, so I'm going to go here, and I'm going to open this, and I'm going to click there. Now, this is the chart editor. So I'm going to have one session here, session 1. S&P's open at 8:30 Central. The cash closes at 3 o'clock. So 8:30 to 3 o'clock is my first session. My second session is the overnight, which begins at 5 p.m. Central and ends at 8:30 a.m. the following morning. So I can see the overnight as well as the regular trading hour session here. It also includes the volume profiles right next to the TPO chart. So you get a couple of different views of the volume profile. Okay. So here's the TPO. Here's the come on. There we go. Now we got everything where it needs to be. So there's the volume profile on the 30-minute chart. Hope that helps. If you have more questions, let me know. Here is the euro. Not a whole lot going on here today. We talked about the idea that it was pretty centrally located, far from last week's high and low, far from weekly kickoff high and low, short time frame controlled. And boy, was it ever. Closed the gap, tried to kind of move higher to close this gap, but couldn't even do that. Couldn't even do that. Take a look at the 10-year, very small range. No gap close. No runs, no hits, no errors. No visuals reached. Perhaps short time frame control here in the value low from Thursday could have helped put in our value high from today. It looks like we've got a little head and shoulders here, don't we? And I would say that head and shoulders is already played out to where it should. Here's the TPO chart. Weak high, poor low. Just what is this thing going to do? It's got now almost 5 weeks before the next FOMC meeting. What did the natural gas do today? Just hung on our weekly kickoff low, last week's low right here. Here's the 30. Closed right on it. I hate it when that happens. And here's the TPO. IB, neither extreme. Double distribution trend day. Coming right back to that weekly kickoff low. It's going to be a strange day, I think, tomorrow in the natural gas. And in gold, too. Gold is a little bit strange because it is in rollover, and rollover makes markets a little bit crazy. Things don't move as quickly. They don't move as far. They move too far. There's all kinds of things that these markets do in rollover that confuse traders. I knew a lot of discretionary directional traders on the trading floor that took 2 weeks of rollover off in the S&Ps. So rollover can be a bit of a challenge. So on this day in history, the Japanese cherry trees in Washington, D.C. were planted along the Potomac, March 27th, 1912. The planting of the cherry trees. I cannot tell a lie. Nikita Khrushchev becomes the Soviet premier on this date in 1958. 1964, an earthquake rocked Alaska. 1998, FDA approved Viagra on this day. March Madness crowns its first NCAA champion in 1939 on this date. Huh. That's my Slack. Boing. Patty Boyd and Eric Clapton are married today in 1979. Patty Boyd, we all know, was George Harrison's wife. 1775, Thomas Jefferson elected to the Continental Congress. And in music, in 2015, country singer Willie Nelson announced that he and his family were hard at work on a new brand of marijuana called Willie's Reserve. Stores of that same name were being planned and were to include his signature brand and other strains that would be grown to meet quality standards. And if you know Willie Nelson and Toby Keith will never smoke weed with Willie again. Must be some pretty good weed. Today is Fergie's birthday. She was born in 1975. Mariah Carey's birthday is today, born in 1970. That's really the only ones that I know. The only ones I know. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow morning on the market prep. My walls are still going to be kind of boring for another week or so, but I'm looking forward to starting Top Step TV and give us the opportunity to look at markets and learn from each other a lot more. And I am looking forward to that. So have a good night, everybody. Make sure you please say a prayer for peace. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Get a good night's rest, and I'll see you in the morning. Have a good one.